So one of my rules is I don't do coffee or drink dates. Now, I understand that some women like this or prefer this. It works for some people. If you like it, I love it. This video is not for you. Keep scrolling. However, for me, as for me and my household, we're going to have higher standards.
I know this trick did not. You see, this is why I can't stand females sometimes. They have this whole thing, oh, it's okay if you feel that way. And then they proceed to say something which is a very passive aggressive way of saying, I'm better than all of you guys. If you like it, I love it. Like that's peak narcissism, mean girl in high school, insecure AF behavior. You probably would have had more people come to your side if you weren't so freaking nasty and full of yourself. Imagine thinking you have higher standards, but you yourself is not the high standard that people would choose.
Talking to this guy, and I'm going to read it to you because we've been talking for a couple days, and he started talking about meeting up. So he said, we should get together over some pear and lychee cocktails soon. And I said, that's really sweet, but I prefer dinner. I like to get dressed up. Now, I always try to say it nicely because I don't want to be like, I don't accept drink dates. Like, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be, you can be nice about it. But let's just say I prefer dinner because I like to get dressed up.
Okay, maybe I'm confused, but you can't dress up for a coffee date either? I mean, maybe you dress up in something a little bit more casual, but you can go get dressed up and take yourself to dinner or go out to dinner with your friend. Oh, wait, you probably don't have friends. Anyways, you can have some special occasion or go to some theater event or some other event that requires you to get dressed up. You don't have to do it on a date. And are you going on the date just to get dressed up or to actually know this person? Because if you're not actually serious about dating someone and you just want to snoo with them, then why are you cutting through all of this? Also, I don't know if the people posting these videos are perpetually stupid or something, but you do realize that it's reaching many people. So you're saying that, oh, you don't have to be mean and act all this way. But now you're basically giving your inner monologue of how you really feel. So any other dating prospects that would come across your video and see you and match it up to whatever profile you have out there is going to recognize the person that you are and stay far away or target you to troll you and make you look stupider than you're already making yourself look.
And he said, I see. What type of places do you have in mind? So I sent him a list of places that I've been like wanting to try, all sorts of different budgets. Okay, it ranges from like medium to a little bit higher, all different locations around the city, so he can choose like what works for him, you know, timing and budget wise.
So you're expecting someone who you're getting to know to pay for all of it? I mean, I guess if that person is the one that asked you out and they're the ones initiating that, then maybe, I guess. I don't know this person, but it seems, I'm just getting the vibes that this is the kind of person that goes around gobbling up people's money and food just for the fun of it, not really with any intention in actually getting to know the person who she's treating like an ATM. I could be wrong, though. I would expect that I'm wrong because she has high standards, right?
So I sent the list of places. He says, these places sound really nice. I think it'll be fun to get to know each other over some nicer dining options. Here it comes though. But I wanted to let you know up front that if we were to meet at one of those places, I'm comfortable splitting the check. I usually will do drinks or something on the simpler end for the first meetup to see if there's a connection first. So my thing is...
Oh, here we go. Come on, baby girl. Tell us why you're upset at this very logical and down-to-earth adult way of thinking responsibly. Let us hear it.
I don't like the coffee or drink date because they're trying to audition you to see if you are worth an actual dinner.
And from everything you've displayed so far, you've just proven that you are not. If you're really that secure in who you are as a person, you wouldn't have a problem with this. But you probably know that your attitude is a piece of shit, and so you're trying to trap them into giving you a nice wine and dine experience when you have no intent on sticking around. If you actually had an intent in genuinely getting to know them, it wouldn't be that offensive to you. But because you're one of them, which is, you're basically functioning like, I mean, you're basically filling the role of an escort. Because you're basically telling them that you have to fully pay to have my company. That's a service that I'm providing. You feed me, gobble, gobble, right? Sprinkle, sprinkle. But I don't want to actually have a relationship with you. I know that from the get-go. I don't actually want to have a relationship with you. I just want to be there and experience the high-class life and get paid for it, for my time, and then I leave and go on to the next customer. That is exactly the message that you're sending, but yet you're claiming you have high standards while operating as a low standard person, i.e., an escort. Furthermore, a man like this that can say something like this, that can have this kind of responsibility and foresight, is exactly the kind of partner that you would want, because this doesn't just tell you that he's responsible and he thinks about decisions far ahead. He is smart with his money and investments, which usually means that this is someone who is going to have a better handle on his resources and a better handle on you and the decisions that he makes within and outside of the relationship when it comes to other people as well. But you don't want that. You're toxic as fuck, so I'm guessing that's the kind of people you rather attract. But us girls that have the same logical type of thinking as this guy, oh, we're the ones with lower standards. The Delulu and entitlement is strong with this one.
I know men. The number one thing men are judging you off of is your looks, right? When they see you, they meet you, they're gonna be like, okay, how beautiful is she? Is she put together? Do I find her attractive, right? That's the number one thing. Your personality may come second, sure, but the first thing is how you look, right? So with that in mind, my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer costs $32.
I mean, do you have that much ugly that you need to conceal? Nobody's asking you to spend that much money on concealer, girl. And if I'm a guy and I'm taking you out, why the hell am I going to care how much concealer you have or what you spend on? Honestly, in my opinion, I'm going to be like, okay, the fact that she has to spend that much money on high class makeup and wear so much of it must mean that there's not really that much under there because she needs to cover it up that much. I mean, maybe it's just me, I don't know, but you have to have some kind of natural beauty, right? For you to be this high on yourself, you have to have some kind of natural beauty. Let's just assume that you do. What does your makeup have to do with anything? Is it impossible? I mean, he's gonna wake up next to you at some point, or are you just putting on a mask for a one-time experience? And if that's the case, you can't really blame the dudes for being a little careful with how they spend their money. Like, obviously, you guys have two different things that you're going for. He actually wants to get to know you, possibly for a relationship or an extended casual relationship. You just want to eat, right? You just want to feel special so you can go on to the next. You obviously are not portraying yourself as someone who wants a relationship with another person. So you are behaving in line with the same occupational environment as an escort. And if the dude wanted an escort, he would just go get an escort. But that's not what he's shooting for. See, when you're going to a high-class place where you actually want to go to a big dinner or a very expensive dinner with a client or whatever, you're going to carry an escort with you so she looks good. And there are a million girls out there that look way better than you, probably wearing less concealer than you, and they would be willing to spend that money. These guys would be willing to spend money on them because they know that's what they're getting. That's a service that they're getting. If a guy is asking you out because he's genuinely interested in you as a person, and then you're portraying yourself as an escort, it's going to be a tad bit confusing. You know, not on the same page kind of situation.
Okay? Why would I put on a full face of expensive makeup, do my hair, make sure my nails are done, make sure there's no hair on my body, and then come and spend 2 hours of my time talking to you for an $8 coffee or a $16 cocktail?
Exactly. Why would you? Nobody said you had. Are you an escort? Like, why is that required? Nobody asked you to do that. You want to do that. But if you're just going to meet someone because you genuinely want to get to know them, no one's asking you to put on a face full of makeup, bro. Sis? How delusional are you? Are you okay? You're acting as though you have a pimp and he's telling you if you're gonna meet a guy, you must always wear a face full of expensive makeup. Do you have a pimp? If you don't, then you have your own agency to say, well, I like this person, which you obviously do not, and I'm interested in having a relationship with this person and see where it goes, which you do not, because you just want yam, and decide that you're gonna look good for you, or just see where it goes before you put on expensive makeup. The guy has more money sense than you do, because he's saying, I don't want to spend that much if this isn't going to work out. This is like making an investment. Why am I going to freaking spend $200 on a bill for a woman that I'm probably not going to get to sleep with, probably just going to leave me and go on to the next person. I'm putting in an investment. You're asking people to spend their hard-earned money and getting little to no return. And he might not even like the experience with you because you sound like a twat. So he's going to pay $200 for a potentially horrible, difficult experience. For what reason? It makes more sense to start off with an audition. And the only reason you would have a problem with this is because you know your personality is shit. If he was going for someone with looks, trust me, you probably wouldn't be at the top of the list of people he could choose. Just saying. I think you're beautiful. I think you're pretty. You're not the prettiest. So her sniffing her ass and thinking, I'm the best thing to get, girl, you ain't Beyonce. You're not Rihanna. You're not them girls, okay? You're not high class based on your behavior and based on your looks. There is a tier, and you're not at the very top. You're maybe a little bit above mid. I mean, with the makeup, without it, we don't know. But there is a tier. And I can speak for myself, too. I'm at bottom. I am no Beyonce, and I'm glad to recognize that. Recognize the level that you're at. I would stand next to those Victoria's Secret models and look like a freaking rusty-ass rock. No way in hell, even if I were to wear makeup, would I expect some dude to just throw $200. As a matter of fact, as a woman with freaking morals and with integrity, I would feel very self-conscious. I would feel very self-conscious over having someone spend that much on me at dinner when they've just met me, because I'd be thinking, that's a lot of money for someone to spend for that would make me kind of wary. It would make me very wary of the person, and it would make me have a lot of pressure. Like, oh no, why is he spending this much? I don't want to ever, my mom taught me, don't ever take anything from a man for free. Of course, there are certain times when you can, but my father, I don't know if you have a father, but my father also taught me, as a man, he said, as a man, trust me. If a man does something for you for free, it's not because it's just for free. Now, there are situations, like if someone saves your life or whatever, they're good men, whatever. But as a man, he's saying, yeah, if a dude is buying you stuff, it's because he wants to get in your pants. My father's a man. He knows. So if my mother and my father are saying that, other men are saying that, men don't just invest in things for the hell of it with no return. They're way more careful with their money, especially older men, than women are. So just like women have investment in our emotions and our time, men have their investment in their resources. They're not going to spend their resources on something if they know there's little to no guarantee that they're going to get something back from it. And I think that is very fair.
Be oh so for real. Let's take it even deeper. When women go out with a man that they do not know, they take a huge risk. Men are crazy. Okay, do you watch the news?
So you're saying that men are crazy and it's dangerous to go out with a guy. First of all, why even bother then? Second of all, yeah, men are crazy. So let's provoke them even more by putting him in a position to spend a lot of money on you so you can then ignore them or ghost them or say, no thanks, and put yourself in danger of their wrath. Like, that makes no god. Have you seen some people when they realize they've been tricked or scammed, which is kind of what you're doing? I'm not saying that that behavior is okay, but put yourself in that situation. If you were to spend that much money thinking that you were going to get something good, a good experience, and then the experience is bad, you'd be the first one to be online typing up a review, being like, oh my god, this is not what I paid for. I want my money back. But you expect men to not feel that same way. You want to put them in a position, if they're so dangerous, you want to make it as uncomfortable as possible and possibly provoke them into becoming a monster. Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in that situation? And here's the thing, too. When my father told me that, men want something. Men usually invest in something that they want, their time, their money, when they expect you're going to be their partner or whatever. You want this man to give you the high-class experience and to put a lot of money and investment into you and put yourself in a position where he now feels as though you didn't deliver on what he paid for. So now you put yourself in a position, if it's a crazy person, to go beyond what his normal behavior would be. Oh, it's just a freaking $5 coffee, whatever, on to the next one. But now you put this person in a position to become a monster where he's like, I spent $250 on this bitch. And she's, first of all, she was horrible the whole date. And then she's going to tell me, nah, I'm good. Really? No, 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 no. I paid for what I paid for. You know how many people have become, like, were assaulted because of that shit? Because men felt like they were entitled to our bodies because they spent all that money on us? Do not put yourself in a position where someone is spending that much on you and you don't know this person. That's fucking stupid. It is different if you're in a relationship with that person. If you're both getting to know each other, you're an independent woman, right? You got your own money. You have enough money to spend buying $32 of concealer and all the other expensive stuff that you buy. You clearly have money, right? Or maybe it's your father's money or mother's money, whatever. But you have that money. Put yourself in a position where you can break away cleanly. You both spent something, you both lost something. Maybe that will help you make better decisions and not put you in a situation where you're at the mercy of someone who has now had total control and power over the situation because he put all of his money into it. That's just safety 101, you know? Like also driving your own car to meet up with someone that you don't know for the first time. Why are you expecting someone to fulfill the role of your father or husband and you don't know them and then you get all shocked when it becomes dangerous for you when you put yourself in that position? That makes no sense.
Like 1 in 5 men are violent. He could unalive you, he could RAPE you, he could stalk you, he could harass you if he feels like it.
Yes, so knowing all of that, let me look as pretty as possible and delectable and as succulent as possible for a guy that I don't know. Let me dress myself like a high-class escort and then go and eat his meal and make it the most expensive thing ever and tease him if he's a freaking serial killer or an unhinged person. Make him do everything that I can to get him sexually frustrated and then also piss him off by scamming him and saying, well, I ate your food, so see ya. I don't want to ever see you again. And have him feel like he completely wasted his time. Let's do that. That is no different than those dudes that they pull a string along and they're super, super, super hot, like top 1% of attractive dudes. And they string along somebody and then they're like, yeah, I love you. I love you. I want to marry you. I want to do all of that. Yeah, okay. And then after he gets something from you, then he just ghosts you. How is that any different? It's not right either way. You going and keying his car is not right. Him doing things to you is not right if it's vice versa. But I'm just saying there are certain behaviors that you probably should avoid in case you're dealing with someone who's crazy. That's protecting yourself as a woman. Like, I'm not gonna go 3 o'clock in the morning in some dark alley where there's a bunch of homeless dudes and flash my breasts in front of them and be like, hey, see my tits? You like it? Ha, sucks. And then walk away and expect them not to come after me and do something to me. Because people are disgusting, but if you provoke them and you don't know who it is you're messing with because there are mad crazy people out there, you open up yourself to more danger. The best thing you could do is to put yourself in a situation where you're in the least amount of danger possible. Meaning, do not allow someone to have more power over you or to have some kind of exchange with you where they're seesawing the power in their favor. Well, I spent a lot of money on you as a $500 bill, and you thought I wasn't going to get anything out of it? Chloroform! And then you have freaking Dexter following you to your house. That's really stupid. Like, everything you're saying doesn't make any sense. You're basically telling people, yeah, this could happen, but let's try and make the perfect storm to help it happen. And I know this is going to go over some people's heads, but trust me, that's how crazy people operate. They don't care. I'm just saying it out loud. I'm in no way saying it's okay or excusing it. I'm just letting you know that happens. That happens. And you yourself said you don't know if this person is crazy or a serial killer. So why would you take that much of their money and give them that much of your time by that logic? You know, getting to know, vet the person first. Go and get some fucking coffee. Because at the very least, even if they spend all the money on the coffee, they're not going to, if they're a crazy person, they're not going to think, well, I didn't have the money. I was talking with this person and I thought we had a good vibe and she ghosted me. Oh, well, it's just $5, I guess. Now, if they're really crazy, that might not matter and they still might come after you. But at the very least, It's not going to hurt as much as a very huge bill with a dining experience and you acting like a freaking asshole. Human beings can be very vengeful and trifling things. And the one thing you never want someone to feel is like you scammed them, which seems to be your MO.
Like, it is very dangerous, extremely dangerous. When you go out with a man, you have to share your location with your mom and your friend. You have to send a screen recording of his Hinge profile and the conversation that you guys had so that if you go missing, they have context. You have to text your friend every half an hour while you're with him to let her know that you haven't been beheaded. You have to take an Uber so that he doesn't know what kind of car you have, just in case he's crazy. And then when you get home, you have to text somebody to tell them that you made it home alive. Men aren't doing that. They don't have to worry when they meet a woman that they do not know that their lives will be in danger. Quite the contrary, men benefit from just being seen with you in public, okay? If you are beautiful, poised, well-dressed, it reflects well on him. People look at him and they think, oh wow, he must be the man. Ooh, he probably has money. You know what? He's probably a good guy if he can pull her. And this is especially so if you are more attractive than him. If he's fugly or he's overweight or he's short, they're like, oh yeah, he must have money in order to be able to pull a baddie like that. So my thing is like, what's in it for women? We've already spent more money than you by just putting our makeup on. We're in danger. Like, what's in it for us?
The man. If you're actually going on a date, and everything she said up until that point, very good advice. Very good advice. You need to do that as a woman because the truth is men are physically stronger than women. Yes. So that's very good advice that she gave. But nobody's asking you to spend more money putting on your makeup than the man is going to spend on your dinner. And if he wanted to do all of that, what's in it for him? At least with the escort, he can get something out of it. Are you going to open your legs for him? I mean, clearly, what's in it for you, the reason why, despite everything that you have said just now about the dangers, you're still willing to do all of this, clearly there's something in it for you, and it's that feeling of being special and money. You're clearly benefiting from it because you keep doing it and spending money on doing it and getting something out of it enough to continue doing it. So that's clearly what, because if you just listed all of that, because all I'm hearing is, it's dangerous, this could happen to me, and this could happen to me, and I'm doing it of my own accord. Why? Why do you keep doing it then? Clearly, humans don't keep doing something unless there's something in it for them. So whatever it is that you're getting out of these dinner dates, which is, I'm guessing, the high-class experience that you're scamming from these people, clearly that's what's in it for you. So you are getting something out of the exchange. So since you are getting something out of the exchange and you like dressing up and looking pretty and getting attention, then you cannot fault the dude for expecting the same. And while that stuff does happen, it happens to men, with men targeting women more than it does with women. Women are crazy too. There have been many stories of men inviting Tinder dates over to their house and almost getting freaking stabbed, or their boyfriends coming over and beating up the guy. Guys put themselves in danger as well. So, being that you could be some crazy person as well and inject him with a weird substance, it's not out of the realms for him to be like, you know what, let me get to know who this person is before I spend all my money on them, and they run away with it with no intention of actually getting to know me. I don't think that's a big ask, regardless of the fact that there are a lot of criminals out there that do stuff to women. It is important for both parties to keep themselves safe. Because the truth is, you're being disingenuous, you are getting something out of it. So if you are getting something out of it, he at least needs to know that he's getting what he paid for. And there's more of a guarantee of him spending that much money with an escort or a prostitute than with someone who's just going to be difficult and using him for his money with no intention of giving him anything in return.